Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. My name is Sarah. I am the Visitor Engagement Coordinator in our Education Department here at the Virginia Zoo. And I am here again to give you some ideas on how to get out of your house, not get so much cabin fever, pun totally intended, stuck inside during your self-isolation. But I'm not going to pretend that we aren't all on our phones all day long, right? So today I want to introduce you to a couple of really cool apps and websites that you can use to explore outside, maybe even learn some new things. We're trying to do that as well, right? So the first one that I want to talk to you about is if you've ever looked into nature apps before, you've probably heard of it. It's very popular. It's called Naturalist. It is available on all of the app stores for free. You can download it, and actual real scientists use this, as well as community members all over the country. It is very easy, and what it does is it helps you identify the species that live around you. So whether that's plants or animals, you can snap a picture and figure out what you have nearby. So I actually took a picture of the very pretty live oak. I'm not sure if you can see this on my screen. Here in our nature play space, and I actually asked the app to identify it for me, and it got it exactly right. It doesn't get it all the time. I took a picture of another tree that I don't actually know the name of. I am not a horticulturalist. We have a great team for that here at the zoo, and I am not on it. But it took, at least got it down to, it's probably a cypress species, which is better than I could have done. So it's a very simple app. You just snap a picture, comes up with some options for you to identify it, the app to identify it. It records where and when if you give it your location permissions. You can say if it's cultivated or a wild plant, and then you submit it, and scientists can actually use that data in whatever they happen to be studying. If they are looking for certain species and you happen to find one, they can find out where you saw it. They can do counts that way. And it gets used, your data, for real science, which is very, very cool. So I definitely recommend iNaturalist as a way to get exploring outside and actually help out with some real science. The next one that I want to talk about is through NASA, actually. It's called Globe Observer, also a free app. And Globe Observer helps you participate in some community or citizen science projects. They have a bunch of them. They have one for clouds, one for mosquitoes, if you want to help them learn about mosquito habitats. They have one called Land Cover, and then the one I want to talk about today is called Globe Trees. I'm talking about that because for the 50th anniversary of Earth Day this year, the Globe Trees Observer app, part of the app, wants to do a challenge. And I think they might be struggling a little bit, just like we all are, to collect that data. They were expecting people to be able to go outside together and gather this data. You can still go out and do it on your own, though, or with the people you are quarantining with. It's really very simple. Again, it tells you exactly what to do. But what they are trying to figure out is tree cover across the country. And so they want to learn about the health of trees through actually the height of the tree. And it's really cool. I'm sure we all remember trigonometry. Those of you who are in high school maybe are missing out on your trigonometry class right now. So you can actually do the math yourself if you want, but the app does it for you. You just basically hold it at eye level, measure the bottom of a tree, measure the top of a tree, take a few steps towards the tree, put in the number of steps. It figures out the math for you and figures out how tall the tree is. Like I said, it's very simple. It explains it to you in the app, step by step, what to do. And again, that data gets used by real scientists for real research, which is very cool. So if you live in an area with lots of trees, definitely recommend checking that one out. Another app is not so much one to get you outside, but since the only place we are allowed to go right now is the grocery store, we've definitely talked about this app before through different education programs, and probably have mentioned it in our blog before. It's the Palm Oil Shopping Guide through the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo. We all know that palm oil is a problem for the animals of Southeast Asia, like our orangutans and our tigers that we have here at the zoo, basically because it is a very good product. It's a very high yield vegetable oil that we use in about 50% of all products, processed products on grocery store shelves. It employs a lot of people in Southeast Asia. The oil itself is not inherently bad, but it does use a lot of space as we need more and more of it. So what the Palm Oil Shopping Guide app does is explains to you what it means to be sustainable and helps you find companies that are committed to using sustainable palm oil or to switching over by a certain year. It's also, again, very easy to use. You can scan the barcode of a product, you can type it in, or if you're at home making your grocery list, you can just type in something as simple as peanut butter. It gives you a ranking of good, better, or best for palm oil sustainability. You can make some really smart shopping choices that way. That's a really good one to get the kids involved because we all love using apps, right? We don't want a ton of screen time, but it helps them do some research on their own and learn to make sustainable choices on their own with you, even though they're not necessarily the one making the purchase. It's still a good way to get the whole family involved. So the Palm Oil Shopping Guide is a really great one that we always recommend. Also free on both Apple and Android. The last couple of things that I want to talk about are a few websites. There's one called Suniverse, Zooin, Suniverse. It's like universe, but with zoo. Again, spelling maybe not my strong point. School is out of session. But it is another collection of community science projects that you can do right from the seat of your chair at home, right on your couch. You don't have to go outside for this one, so save this one for rainy days. But basically, you log on and all kinds of different scientists through all different kinds of fields of study upload whatever data they need analyzed by you, and you get to look through it for them. The ones that we like to recommend are through the nature and biology sections. There are a lot of camera trap images that need analyzed. If you're not familiar with camera traps, basically scientists go out into nature, put a camera with a motion sensor on a tree, and when an animal walks in front of it, it takes a picture. This is a great way for scientists to find elusive or very shy animals out in nature. But these cameras take a picture anytime anything moves in front of it, not just maybe the species they're looking for. And so on Suniverse, it's your job to look through these pictures. They'll give you a handful at a time. You swipe through them, and if you see the species they're looking for, you hit whatever number, account or yes, I see it, whatever they need you to identify for basically as long as you want. There's probably thousands of pictures for all different projects that you can look through. I was playing with one yesterday that was looking for skinks, a certain kind of lizard. So, and they're about, this big and the color of the rock that they're sitting on. So I wouldn't recommend maybe that one to start with. It was not easy, but it's definitely a great way to pass the time if you're stuck indoors. And again, you're helping with real science, which is so cool. The last thing that I want to recommend for our zoo fans, you might be somewhat familiar with this. Last summer, we participated in Plastic Free July through Eco Challenge. So if you Google Plastic Free July Eco Challenge, you will find out all about that. We had a lot of fun trying to reduce our plastic use around the zoo, and a lot of our zoo fans participated, which was really, really awesome. This April, Eco Challenge is doing an Earth Day challenge. Again, to try and increase our sustainability at home, decrease our plastic use, and be more aware of the environmental issues happening around us. They have modified a lot of their challenges to be self-isolating and social distancing friendly, which is really great of them. But they still have hundreds of different actions you can choose from to try and make small changes in your daily life. Or there are a few that are actually some really big changes if you want to go for those as well. It's a great challenge because you can tailor it to whatever suits your needs, whatever you think you're capable of doing. I know a lot of us right now are getting takeout because our work-life balance has been kind of thrown away. And now is not the time to feel guilty about using single-use plastics. We have to worry about our own health, right, before we can worry about the health of the planet. So this challenge is really great to help you find maybe other ways to offset some of the less friendly things that we're doing right now. We don't need to self-guilt right now about certain small things. We need to make sure that we as a community are healthy so that when this all blows over, we can go back out and start taking care of our planet again and find other ways inside our home now to make some of those small changes. So to reiterate, the things that I would love for you guys to do if you insist on being in front of a screen during this time are the iNaturalist app, the Globe Observer app, the Palm Oil Shopping Guide app through the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, Suniverse Community Science website, and check out the Eco Challenge April Earth Day Challenge. I'm not sure if they went with April or Earth Day as the full name, but it's through the website called Eco Challenge. If you made a Plastic-Free July account to help us out last summer, you were already signed up for the same website, so you're good to go. If you guys have any great suggestions for science or nature websites or apps that you love, go ahead and drop those in the comments. We would love to hear them and share them. And I hope you guys check those out. We cannot wait to have you guys back at the zoo. We miss you a whole lot. But until then, have fun in your homes, in your yards, and in your neighborhoods. And we will see you guys real soon. Thank you so much.